Alright, so, you guys see it, I hope. I can walk around. I can walk around. You know what I'm saying. Well, okay, so the name of this episode is HvZ 2014, Sorry for Party Rocking. And as you all know, this ankle got dislocated in the middle of, I believe it was round 3, and I was going around the big molehill, okay? And molehill is about 25, 30 feet high, and I twisted the ankle laterally, completely that way. I mean, almost completely, like 90 degrees, okay? I popped this out of the socket right here. And what I did is I stepped on it real hard, and I yanked it with the other hand, and I just popped it back into place. And I was in good gosh pain for probably about 5-6 minutes. And I just kept going. I mean, even bending it like that smarts a little. So, and anywho, who would be crazy enough to do that and go, and I mean entirely, another, how many rounds? Another 3 rounds, 3 hours? Only somebody crazy enough, and this is the number 3 rule in Norwalk, so I'm not posting this on Norwalk, doing this. Only crazy enough to do this. Mm-hmm. 94.6 proof. Alright, so this is a drinking game. Basically, you're going to mix the same drink, if you dare, and yell the words, Sapphire Buffalo! Sapphire Buffalo! Now, this is definitely not a PG YouTube channel. I mean, I'm mixing alcoholic drinks on the video. Actually, you know, Sapphire goes better with this stuff. You know, I need a little bit more kick in here. Give me just a second. Just a second. Ha. Yeah, but so anyway, how was HvZ? You know, it had sort of a feel to it of a real post-apocalyptic field. You know, because what happened was it was done. Give me more light, it had the feel of a real post-apocalyptic setting, because you had all these like busted up like sprinkler pipes and like dumped concrete and all sorts of stuff. You had a couple of gas wells. You had a water insertion wells, a fracking well, and then you had a gas well, an inactive gas well over on the far side, and you had this sort of feel of a real military field. And it was really cool, okay? It was better than I thought it was going to be. It was easier than I thought it was going to be. And the problem was that the magnets didn't count for anything more. It really sucks, really. I wish it would have counted as more. It just counted as a normal hit. So the magnets was out, the scent was out, and then my fastest long retaliator, which is a Super Veloz Revision 2. There's nothing but black tactical spring, technically, and two of the trigger catch springs for orange wildwood. Don't try making that thinking you can do 100 flat, because there's more to it than that. There's seals, there's porting, there's all sorts of things, handwork that, if you're lucky, you'll get 85 flat, if you know what you're doing. So that was out, so I ended up using the Super Veloz I gave Kyle Pettigrew. And I played with that. I rolled with that. So basically, it was a good team. There was a good turnout, but it wasn't as big as everybody thought. The field area was small, but it was basic. And I'll give you a couple things about this setting. Number one, it was brush and tumbleweed in a lot more places a zombie can really hide off the path. As where in the other HvZ, you pretty much knew where everybody could hide, or you were protected on one side in a lot of places from one riverbed, or you were far away from the path and any foliage from the hill on the other side. In this place, you are right next close to where a zombie could just go out and tag you. Okay? That was good. What was bad, however, is there were 4 injuries. I had the Up in Flames award, as everybody knows. Ooh, you know, that even smarted a little. And the Justin Sir, he also had it up in flames. And then the kid got injured. I thought it was Jonathan. I thought it was brother Jonathan. And, I was so upset. It ended up being my teammate's Michael Bloom, his son. I was like, oh man, sorry, Benny. You know what I mean? He slipped on some concrete and fell. Some scrap concrete. What did it lack? First off, it was 2 3 points. You had basically one side of the field, the other side where the gas well was, and the market. That was it. You had 3 points. It was this narrow sort of, I mean, it was no wider than 150 feet. Okay? It was real small. Okay? This whole thing. It was maybe, I would say, maybe 1,000 feet long. Maybe not even that. Maybe slightly more than that. Okay, the humans won, which was cool. But and in the first game, I understand that everybody was down by lunchtime, but don't quote me. It was 2 3 points. They need to put more points of objective on this map. All we really had was the market, the well, on the other side. We need more objective points. There were there was another place that was up above where it was like a third path that went over. That you really only had one path, or you had to like climb over a huge lump of old grass and this big cactus. And so if you had to go past it, you had to do it real slowly. They should really do something with that next year. Another thing I noticed was you had a lot of infield area where you had a lot of brush. That in a search objective would be really good. Are they going to use it again? I think they will. It's a pretty good objective. It was $10. That didn't bother me. But it was Oxnard. When I got out, I was trying to get back to the 1. I had come from the 101, and I am California born and raised, okay? But I'm just not Camarillo or Oxnard born and raised, or Ventura born and raised. I came from Valencia, just down the 126. So that means I don't know my fucking way back to Redondo Beach. So I got so lost, and I was with my friend Kyle Pettigrew, who I had driven all the way from Ontario. He gave me $20 to drive him. And I was exhausted. I've been up since like 4:30 in the morning. I'm surprised I didn't get tagged with the ankle and the tiredness, but my playing was superior, as well as my leader, who was Eric Conception, who won the MVP award. Was one of those who won the MVP award. And Oxnard at night, you cannot find your way out of this town. You have no idea where the PCH is or anything. We were no farther than 1 block away from PCH, and there wasn't a sign anywhere. Because I wanted to take Kyle down the PCH, because it's Malibu. Then come to find out, well, he doesn't like ocean at night. Oh, crap. He has fears of tsunamis. Oh, no, I'm sorry, buddy. And, like, the way back to Redondo from there, as you know, is exactly that. Otherwise, you got to cut through the 101, 101 to 105, 105 all the way to, like, Rosecrans. And you're like cutting 20, 30 more miles. It's just, you know, it's, you know, If anybody's ever seen Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, I'm sure a lot of you have, you know. And, hot fuck. And anywho, and I got him home. Now, another thing that's come up is my friend, one of my friends who owns a Nerf league, really good one, in Redondo Beach. So there's a Beach Cities Nerf Alliance. Now, his games, I'm not going to tell you when it is, because his games are invitation only, okay? You basically have to know them to play. But they're nice games, and unlike a lot of people who do basic team deathmatch, who do basic capture the flag, basics humans versus zombies, he does a lot of power-ups based off the Bioshock game. I've never played Bioshock, and I was a first-person shooter kind of player, okay? I've even played Deathmatch John Romero a couple times. A lot of the... I went on the ID software server, I played them, and I played a lot of good matches with people, and Deathmatch, but I've never played Bioshock, but I can appreciate the value of a deathmatch kind of power-ups, especially when you're playing deathmatch in first person and you're playing with Nerf guns. A lot of people like these scenarios. I like these scenarios. I think it's great. I think Old Man Winter is a great power-up, you know. The guy's stunned for 3 seconds and you can just blast away at him. That's awesome. But for a lot of people, maybe a little hard to follow. However, I think if we want to keep things a little bit more than basic and do understand that a developing game strategy is a developing game strategy, I really think that you should talk to him on Facebook and tell him, man, stay with it. If not, your runner-up stays with it. You know what I'm saying? And support his version of gameplay. It just needs to be integrated in Nerf a little better. I mean, hey, programmers did it for first-person shooters. Do I think it should be every Nerf game? No. But do I think that somebody should specialize it? Like people specialize in cosplay and HvZ? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay? I really am supportive of his venture. And I want him to keep going and keep doing further. We're great friends. We go to the park. We shoot blasters all the time. I mean, I feel like I'm a big brother to the guy, as I do every Nerf player. As I am 38 years old, and a lot of the people are either college or high school age. And I do my best to mentor people the best I can. But at the same time, it's the honesty part, too. I'm not going to bullshit the kids. Okay? I'm not going to not cuss at you if you don't call one of the hits. I'm not going to call you a complete bitch if you get hit in the leg and say you didn't get hit in the leg. Yeah, I will. But that's part of being tough. And as you all know, I'm pretty tough. I may not look it. I may not sound it. I got the voice of a soprano. Okay? But tough is not just physical. It is also enduring in life. And dealing with the cards you are dealt. So, and anywho, I can't wait for the summer HvZ. It's going to be a lot of fun. I asked Evan if I could play it like a character. I hope that I am a character. I mean, I'm already a character, but I mean a character in HvZ. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, this is Chris Cartaya, and I want to thank my roommate for letting me use his old cell phone camera, as it is far superior to my notebook computer camera. And we're going to see this month a lot of new stuff. In February, we're going to see 20K Pink Crush, or 20K the new blaster from the Rebel line. If the catch is good, possibly another Fire Striking 20K, but I think 18's the limit on that blaster. Because when I went 19, I broke the catch like that because it's just very soft plastic. And so on the Pink Crush, it's tougher. The plunger rod catch is a lot tougher. We're going to see possibly a Zombie Strike Crossfire, 4x multiple, similar very much to this blaster right here, which uses ARs, and it has 12 kilograms of push. Well, I'm going to do possibly a Zombie Strike Crossbow, and I'm going to modify it so it can take the longer spring length of the Orange Modworks 8K and the Black Tactical 8K, make it in 16 kilograms. It will have a shorter stroke, maybe 2 1/8 rather than 2 1/2 like the Fire Strike. But look at this right here. Look at this triad. I was showing this to my friend. We went to the walking around Long Beach, walked by the convention center, and from the front of the building, like over on the side, I shot it at the flat wall. I ended up hitting the round part of the convention center, which was 50 feet inward. I arched it like that. Anyway, boom, bam, like that. Okay, so watch this. Watch this. Okay. That's only right there a little more than 1.5 inches a stroke. The whole idea behind a high compression, high speed blaster like this is that you don't have that much air, but you're creating a huge shockwave, just boom, like that, and it still makes it sort of real fast. So the idea I'm going to go for the Crossfire is a lot like that. Okay, it's got a smaller piston drive length than a Fire Strike or Pink Crush. But what it does have is possibility to move the catch back, take the reinforced part of the bolt where it goes up into the pull part, and sand that off and use a side lever on the side, which just pulls it. So will it be a crossbow at that point? Won't it be a crossbow? I don't know. But I'm going to hope to make it still a crossbow. And then what you do that so the springs can clear, hit the part where the second molding part hits, put a metal catch similar to what I put on my Ultra Matches, metal spring catch on the back, so that it will still do the 2 1/4, but it can still clear the spring. The problem with a lot of the rough cut type guns and the stronger type guns is that you only have 1/2 inch of spring clearance between your coils. But if you move it back and have the same length and have the coils compressed the same but just longer, let's say you add another 1/2 inch to take up more spring, you still have the same length and you still have the same power of like a Ultra Match Fire Strike. That will make it, I mean, you saw this thing. It just went lasers. It's fast, okay? It's brass barrel. The other thing is you got to keep the ARs in, which means you got to keep the barrel shorter, okay, like this is. But there's also less air. I mean, you got that much less air. Nice thing is if you give it to some goof, you can dry fire it and no one's going to give you any crap. That's what I'm thinking I'm going to do for the Crossfire. Another project is the Retaliator. The Stage 2 kit, I already heard that somebody has a notification of shipping. That just means it's only a matter of time until I get it. And the other project is, of course, the GTO, which I didn't have a chance to make for this HvZ, and nor did I mean it. However, this is a crude weapon. Because it's a crude weapon, I would probably shoot this thing with a crew. I would probably lead it, shooting my Retaliator. And by the way, that's no wuss weapon in HvZ. I had the father shooting blaster in the game last time. I'd have another guy loading mags, sets of 3 mags that all fuse together, and I'd have another guy shooting it with a bandolier. And it's definitely a crew of 3 weapons. Commander, escort, reloader, machine gunner. But you can mow down people like that. So, next HvZ is this summer. I've got 6 months. Hopefully I'll do it. The other thing, one more thing. My roommate made a deal with me. He wants me to start making blasters again. He understands that my situation at home may be good, maybe not. They're remodeling the house, and I really haven't had a chance to go back and do much. So, I mean, Zach, inane bird, has been waiting for the half of this without the spring for a few months now, and I feel bad. Because he won a very fair bet, and I haven't been able to make one of these, because I don't have my machining tools for the brass barrels. Well, my roommate got me tools for Christmas to remake the barrels easier, and not only that, has said I can put down a top where we keep the bicycles right behind this camera, and I can work all day working on Nerf guns. So now I have permission to work on Nerf guns here. That's good. Now I just need to wait till the next paycheck to buy some more stuff. That's on the 22nd of January. There you are. I think Zach's going to love this thing. And I'm going to probably make a production run of a lot of these tryouts too. Buy some 17-30 seconds and go. So anyhow, this is Chris Cartaya. I just want to tell you all what's going on. Don't you go changing. And everybody say it again. Sapphire Buffalo! Now why is it called Sapphire? No, Tanqueray. Well, I originally made it with Sapphire. Sorry. So you can call it Tanqueray Buffalo if you want, but I call it Sapphire Buffalo. Because originally it was made with Bombay Sap. Cheers to you anti-alcohol nuts out here. May you die of lung cancer. Take care.